Today on the channel, we take a trip to FTC. It's been a while as we got some crowd audience members from their new fan series.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another FTC unboxing and review. It's been a little bit, but today we're diving into their new Ultimate Wrestling fan series with Mikey, the little boy, and Stu, the stereotypical wrestling fan? Maybe. But for all your FTC needs and a whole lot more, hit up Figures Toy Company. That's where you can pick these ones up. Me, personally, I went into the Shop app. I don't know if you guys have the Shop app or not. And for whatever reason, if you bought these, there was a $10 coupon code. So it ended up being like $11 and change shipped for each one of these. Now, the coupon code only worked once. My wife also has the Shop app. Go figure on that one. And she ordered one as well. So that's how I got these two here. I am definitely not opposed to getting the rest of the collection, but at $20 a piece, and these two are the exact same price figures, that's a little bit of a stretch there, especially for these little kids. You can buy box sets of multiple of them, so check out Figures Toy Company. You can also pick them up on Amazon, I'm pretty sure, as well. But a definite neat idea here. I love the idea for fans in the background, and even after that, you can put these with your Marvel superheroes if you need some kids that are needing to be saved or something like that. Maybe you're like a young Flint out there and you're giving a PSA to little kids. That's what I do. I go to my kids' school all the time. And like a young G.I. Joe member, I give a PSA to those kids around the playground. And you could do that with this Mikey one if you want to. Put him with your Ninja Turtles. Put this guy in a computer lab or something. Choose your own adventure. If you're a figure photographer, these are going to be great for background characters as well. So a lot of fun around this one here. But the $20 price point is going to be rough for a lot of people. And I can see a lot of people taking that step back saying, well, I could buy a clearance at Ringside Collectibles using discount code Kyle to save 10%. I could probably get a main event style figure of whoever during a clearance sale for $4.99. I could buy multiples of them, move some heads around, put a soft goods shirt over them. Voila, I got some new fans at a much cheaper cost. That is definitely true. In my idea, you would mix a lot of those in the background. That's the majority, but then you throw a few of these in here to give a little dash of pizzazz, a little bit of something different there. That's what I would probably do. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at each one of them. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And then we'll do a big comparison later on in this video from a lot of different toy lines so you can kind of get a judge of the size of these. And I'd be interested to hear who you would put these guys with in your collection. But let's start it off. And I guess we'll go kid over older guy. Just seems fair on that one here. But like I said, same price between these two. I'm not sure I agree with that one, but is what it is. Ultimate Wrestling fans, Mikey, Figures Toy Company right there on the box, looking interesting. A little cross-sell on the side. Now this cross-sell is the referee, the security guards, ring announcers, that kind of thing. Now on the other side, also available for the Ultimate figures, you got popcorn, drinks. There's a cool accessory pack, which I'm not opposed to picking that up either. I think that looks really interesting. Then on the back of the package, that's where the meat and the potatoes are. You got jibber jabber, you got the UFC. It does say, bring your collection to life with these highly expressive and articulated figures that will complement any figure line in need of an audience. Spectators, pedestrians, or extra, with a variety of sizes, ages, genders, and races. You can bring any play set to dramatic life with these Ultimate figures. 20 points of articulation, compatible with most figure lines. Extra hands pack including exclusive cell phone hands. So I guess everybody's on their cell phone these days. Not a bad idea as a whole on this one here. It's just the price point's a little bit tough. And I don't know if they've walked back because they had said in the past, Figures Toy Company has said they were going to make wrestling figures like they used to with the Jakks hybrid figures of old. They were going to make them in this new style articulation. My gut says they've walked that back and they're giving more of the crowd support, the referees, and now the fans. They're looking at that angle, which might not be bad because it's a heck of a lot cheaper. You get wrestlers, you got to pay them something. You don't got to pay a Mikey anything. So it makes a lot of sense, I guess. But let's dive into old Mikey here. Now it is just a box. You just open it up here. And then we got baggies. Oh, we got baggies. Watch out for that, of course. And then nothing inside there. Up high. See you later over the top. Goodbye. Got a little baggie right here, of course, and we got hands in there. So we're going to dive into that. You got to say, Mikey came to play. He's got a lot of fingers, a lot of hands with those fingers, of course. And then we do get just a little cellophane wrap on him right here. Maybe I'm going to get that out of there. There we go. Slide old Mikey out, and we're off to the races. See you later. Goodbye. But let's dive into these hands. Right out of the package, we got the slapping hands. He's going to slap somebody silly right out of the package. And then guess what? We get more slapping hands. He's got 2 more slapping hands. These are a little bit more straight, I guess. Maybe he's going to give us the Bret Hart. He's going to give us one of those. You never know what he might be up to. We do get 2 fists of fury, or 1. Nope, there's 2. 2 fists of fury for Mikey in case he's got to throw punches and bunches. You know, maybe Matt Cardona's jarring with him. He just punches him right in the balls. Right in the balls to Cardona. Could be. You never know. 2 gripping hands. Oh, we got the what you gonna do, brother. He's got those hands going on, so he's going to do the pointing if he needs to. Of course, you're taunting somebody. You're pointing the finger. You're doing all that stuff. And then we do get a hand here that has a little peg in it. So I don't know. He doesn't really have anything to peg, so I don't know what he's pegging with this thing. But we got the peg hand. Then we do got the cell phone hand, and I'm wondering, is the cell phone removable? It is, but not really. So you can remove it, but you might have to super glue it back in if you want to. But he does got the cell phone hand, so I guess maybe he's taking pictures and stuff. And Mikey looks like he's like 8 or 9 years old. Do most 8 and 9-year-olds have a cell phone? My daughter's 10. She doesn't have a cell phone. I don't know. But he does come with the cell phone hand here. I guess it is on brand all these years. Everybody's got a cell phone these days. But now we're going to dive into Mikey himself. And not a bad piece of business at the surface here. Now, he's screaming and yelling. He looks like a kid in a grocery store having a little tantrum. And I've seen that a time or two in my life as well. But he looks like a kid that's just screaming and yelling in the grocery store. Man, he's got a little bit of that frog in him, though. He's got that frog. Some people get that dog in him. He's got that frog in him is what he does. A little bit looser in that than I would like it to be. I wish it was a little tighter in that hula hoop up there. A little too wiggly, if you ask me, as far as things go there. But his head, he's screaming, he's yelling, he's got the teeth. It looks like his parents take him to the dentist, so that's a pro. He's got hair, brown hair. Looks like a young Kyle with that hairdo when I was a little kid, too. But he's an angry young kid, so maybe he's getting kidnapped and you're fig-fed. Maybe he's a fan in the audience. Maybe he's getting eaten by a rancor. You got to choose your own adventure with old Mikey right here. But an interesting-looking guy. Now, articulation on him is going to be interesting. Head not removable. I'm sure it could be with some heat, but he does got a little bit of a head down. He's got his chin tucked a little bit, so he's ready to take a bump, I guess, what he's ready to do. He's got 2 ears, 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. I should mention that as well. But he does got articulation back, forth, side to side, all the way around. Hula hoop is the worst part here. It is too loose, and it just has a little bit of a lean forward to it. So we better get that straightened out or he's going to be a hunchback if he's not careful. We do got butterfly shoulders on that. That is a nice stretch on this, I will say. You do get a bicep cut nicely hidden in the shirt. Double jointed pinless elbows playing all the hits. Todd in front from the couch. You seeing this? You taking this in over here? Drink in those pinless joints, Todd. Hands removable back and forth, side to side. You get the waist down low. You get those big old Mikey splits. He's a little kid. He's flexible. Of course he is. He's running around doing PE and stuff. Goes up for that big boot if you need to. Or I guess you'd be kicking Cardona in the nuts. No, not picking on Matt Cardona, but we're picking on Matt Cardona. He could be punching him in the balls. He could be kneeing him in the balls. He could be kicking him there. You do whatever you want to do. He does got the thigh cut. Once again, nicely hidden behind the shorts here. Double jointed pinless knees. The hits continue. Ankle cut, no, but we do get side to side, up and down on the feet. There is no hole in the feet, though, so he's not going to fit on a stand of any kind. But not a bad piece of business for Mikey. I don't know if it's a very good piece of business at like $23, $24, but $10, $11, that feels okay for me. I don't know. Your mileage may vary, as we always do say here on the channel. And he's not going to stand on here. It's going to be a little rough. He's a little top heavy. He's got a little bit of that gangster lean going on, but you can't do it with a little bit of magic right there. But an interesting figure. I'm not against having some of these kids. I can think of a lot of scenarios to use these guys in your setups, your displays, your figure photography especially. A nice idea. I just don't like how he's leaning down just a little bit. Maybe that's my copy. Once again, your mileage may vary, but not a bad piece of business. I just don't care for that price point. $11, $12, I feel okay. Over 20 feels a bit of a stretch on that one, especially when Stu over here, and we all know a Stu somewhere along the line, don't we? Maybe we are a Stu. Maybe we got to look ourselves in the mirror. I could be Stu, but I guess I got longer hair than Stu. And Stu doesn't have a wedding ring on, so he's not married. And I guess I don't have one on, so am I married? I don't know what's going on. I guess I'll have to ask my wife. But Stu looking extra interesting here. Stu loving the flip-flops, and that's a bold move, and dare I say it, Todd McFarlane, it's a power move. I think when you go full power like Todd McFarlane, you don't wear shoes at all, but he's on his way there with the flip-flops and the sandals there, but I wouldn't be caught dead in sandals and flip-flops or Crocs or any of that business. Not for me. It's all about the shoes for me. But not Stu. He's going to wear sandals to the arena. That's what he's going to do, and he's going to have his cell phone. He's going to complain about it, and he looks a little bit nervous. He's a little nervous. Like he had like 20 tacos at Taco Bell and went to the wrestling show, and he's right in the middle row. He's a little bit nervous. I think that's what's going on there. The bigger figure, obviously, on the side of the package. Same thing we saw with our friend Mikey. Little glamour shot on the top as well. Same readout on the back of the package. And obviously a little heftier, a little bit more weight to this one here as he is a bigger figure. We're going to pull him out, and he is a big boy. Holy cow. See you later, goodbye, up over the top. He is a big, big boy, and it's wild. And I guess you could make the argument with Marvel Legends, wrestling, anybody really, that, you know, toys in the same line. You get Yokozuna, he's the same price as Rey Mysterio. So I guess you do get some of that, but man, this feels like Andre the Giant against a little kid is what it feels like right here. Little Disco Stu out of the package. See you later, goodbye. But man, look at that size difference here. Holy cow. How big is he? How big? I imagined him to be like 4 foot something. He's got to be an 8-foot monster right here. He's an 8-foot monster, Stu. Stu, you should have been in the ring instead of behind the computer is what you should have been. But Stu is a big, big boy here. Now, I will say, very cartoony look here. It almost reminds me of something out of Toy Story. You know, the movie Toy Story. And then I think I saw Toy Story 1, maybe. Maybe I saw that. Or I at least saw bits and pieces of it. But there was like that toy collector. Wasn't it Newman? Wasn't Newman the toy collector guy? He kind of has that vibe to him here a little bit. But he's very stunned in the face department. Got some very ugly glasses in the square look there. He's keeping his teeth nice and clean. I like that. A little bit of dirt on his chin, a little bit of dirt on the mustache there. And then, of course, male pattern baldness, undefeated unless you go to like Turkey or something and get that fixed. But he's got that going on, but he's got the hair in the back. He's got the horseshoe that Arn Anderson's the only guy that could rock the horseshoe. And I guess the Hulkster kind of. But Stu should just let it go and go bald, if you ask me. But interesting look there. Now he's got some big old moobs on him here, some big old man boobs going on. He's got the gray shirt over the top. He is a big, big boy. He's got the black shorts going there, and then the sandals. And I just don't get the sandals piece on this one. Just feels weird to me, of course. But sandals, maybe they're in. Maybe I missed out on that. I have to ask my wife for some fashion tips. Now, articulation, identical to Mikey. You got the butterfly shoulders, bicep cut. Very stiff, tight elbow joints on this guy right here. Very, very tight. Obviously, a little heat goes a long way for these. We know how that goes. Hands back and forth, side to side, of course. Hula hoop up top. Not as loose as... no, still loose. A little too loose up top there. Usually it's a little looser down low, but it's a little looser up top on both of these guys here. He's got that waist with that big belly going on. Those big old splits, that's as far as Stu's going to go. Goes up for the big boot. Yeah, about right there. Double jointed pinless knees. Once again, I do really love the pinless knees action. You guys know me. Ankles side to side, up and down. No hole in the feet. It does say FTC 2025 for him right there. Old Stu getting it done. But man, Stu looks like an interesting guy. There's no doubt about it. He does have all the same hands that Mikey came with. Just a little bit larger, obviously, including the cell phone hand and the what you gonna do, brother, when Stu Mania runs wild on you. Stu may be a good co-host for the Kyle Peterson Show going forward. Maybe Todd McFarlane and Stu. Maybe Stu could be the announcer. We'll see what ends up happening. Or maybe Todd, you become the announcer and Stu sits with me at the couch. That could be a possibility as well. But Stu, an interesting individual. Not sure what to think of him here, but man, he towers over Mikey. I don't know if Mikey is going to be his son or is just another annoying kid around him, but definitely interesting characters here. Not a bad idea. I like the idea in theory. The only thing I don't like is the price point, and the price point's difficult because, let's be honest, these aren't selling at your local Target and Walmart, so they're not making tons and tons of these, so the price is kind of the price, all things considered there. Can I get Mikey to stand up again? That could be the bane of my existence, Mikey here. He doesn't want to stand. He's got that gangster lean going on. Oh, come on, Mikey. Work with me. Work with me, buddy. I want to do comparison shots, and Mikey doesn't want to stand, but we do got all the hands there off to the side. Going to do some comparisons here. Let's grab some stuff. And you know me, I was a little stinger once upon a time, probably just like Mikey. So you can see that size difference between them. That's quite the size difference, all things considered there. So you can kind of see. How about a little Booker T? So that's AEW. I do got Booker T for Mattel. So you can see that difference. I don't know what to think about this. I guess I don't know. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on the sizing on these. Sometimes I look at it right here and I feel they're too small, and then I kind of feel they're just right. They're definitely cartoony, more cartoony than these guys, that's for sure. But there's old Booker T. How about a little ref? I did get the FTC ref. We got these once upon a time. Look at that difference between Stu and the FTC ref. This is the same toy line here, so for those keeping track at home there. Interesting sizing comparisons. Stu is a big boy. He can be pushing 500 pounds, I think. Who knows? I do got Spider-Man right here from Marvel Legends. How about a Maximum Spider-Man? So we can kind of see how that goes. Spider-Man, a little guy, so I guess Stu is kind of a little guy, but a big guy at the same time. I guess that makes sense. We'll put him there. How about a little Maximum Hulk? He's fresh on the table here. Just unboxed this one on the channel the other day, so you can kind of see him next to Hulk. You can see Mikey next to Hulk as well. Yeah, Hulk's a big boy. There's no doubt about it. He is a big, big boy. The hits keep on coming. How about a little NECA Ninja Turtles here? So you got Raphael next to him. That seems about right. I mean, I don't think the scaling, I guess, is terrible on these, I will say. So that's not too bad right there. And then, of course, the all-timer, one of the greatest of all time. It is Tiger Force edition of Flint, of course, ready to give a PSA to little Mikey if he needs to. Not a bad piece of business on the Flint for sure, especially that Tiger Force. You know me, I'm loving that Tiger Force. But I don't mind these figures here. For a grand total of like $25 shipped, that was worth it to me. But $50 shipped for these two, that's a little bit tougher for me to swallow here. We only have so many funds to go around, but it depends what you're doing with your collection. If you're like me, just displaying these things, you probably don't need this. But if you're a figure photographer, you're somebody that's taking a lot of crowd scenes, backgrounds of wrestling, maybe superheroes saving stuff, some street scenes, there's probably a lot more value for you on these kind of things. So it really depends what kind of collector and what you're looking to do with your collection, whether or not these are going to be for you. For me, I don't mind a few. I'll play a little long game. If I can find a couple of more, I'd be good with that. I keep saying I'm going to set my arena up one of these days again. I'm getting closer and closer to that, in all honesty. I took it down about 5 years ago. It's time to put that bad boy up. Some of the OGs of the channel, my first toy hunt video, you got to see my arena from back in the day. It might be time to finally finish that, and it could be coming sooner rather than later. But not a bad piece of business with these FTCs. It just truly is the definition of your mileage may vary of what you get and what you want out of these. But I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Is this something you're interested in? Is this something you're picking up? Are you getting all of them? You getting none of them? You're just going to get one to check out? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day. And then some. Even more content, early access to all the content for both YouTube channels and my new podcast. You can get that early as well over there on the Patreon and YouTube channel memberships. Your best way to support the channel. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. So for a little figure toys company, ultimate fans, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?